Cell communication. Cell communication involves how cells send and receive messages and is crucial to the success of all cell processes. Cells communicate with signals where these signals are cell to cell or come from the environment. Signaling pathways are formed through signals passing through protein to protein. Proteins change cell behavior and direct a cellular response. Stages of cell signaling include reception, transduction, and response. In reception, a signaling cell called a ligand secretes a cell signal. When the signal reaches the target cell, it binds with the receptor protein in its membrane and changes its shape, thus making it possible for the signal to enter the cell through transduction, which is the process in which the signal relay begins, passing it on to relay molecules through a chain of events. This happens until the final relay molecule activates a protein, creating a response by altering cell activity. Cellular responses can be determined through the interpretation of more than one signal, and specific responses may require a combination of signals. One type of signaling is through cell-to-cell contact and is called direct signaling, where the cells bind to neighboring cells. Small pores known as gap junctions allow this connection and the exchange of materials through the cytoplasm. The signaling molecules from one cell can be transported to other cells through gap junctions, including small particles like calcium ions, which can easily travel through the ion channels. Gap junctions are found in animal cells but are lacking in plant cells. In plants, there are similar channels known as the plasmodesmata, which is essentially a narrow thread of cytoplasm that allows communication between adjacent plant cells by passing through their cell walls. Short-range signaling includes paracrine, autocrine, and synaptic signaling. Paracrine signaling is a form of cell-to-cell communication in which a cell produces a signal to induce changes in nearby cells, thus altering the behavior or differentiation of those cells. Autocrine signaling. In autocrine signaling, the cell communication is acted upon by the same cell, in which a cell produces a signal to induce changes in its own cell. In the process, the cell secretes a hormone that binds to the receptors of the same cell, which then causes changes in the cell.
Synaptic signaling occurs with cells between a neuron and the muscle involved in neural activity. Electrical signals can usually be carried from a neuron to neuron across synapses. When there is no physical link between both neurons, neurotransmitters come into play. Neurotransmitters bind to receptors in the membrane of the synapse, which is the gap between two nerve cells. The neurotransmitter must diffuse across the synapse in order to reach the target cell in order to bind to the receptor proteins on the target cell. The neurotransmitter binds with the receptor on the target neuron. The chemical neurotransmitter is converted into an electrical impulse signal. Another type of signaling is endocrine signaling. The endocrine system is a set of hormones that help regulate metabolism, growth, and development. It is useful for long-range signaling and is present in almost all organs. Chemicals are secreted into the bloodstream and are then carried by blood and tissue fluids on transduction pathways to the cells that they are supposed to act on. The success of many crucial organs in the human body, such as the liver, testicles, and the pituitary gland, revolve on the effectiveness of the endocrine system.